Imagine a world where one empire controlled the lands from the deserts of Africa to the icy rivers of Europe, where armies marched like thunder, where emperors decided the fate of millions, and where a single city shaped the destiny of the modern world today. We open the gates of that empire. Welcome to the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. From the moment humanity began recording its story in stone, clay, and parchment, no name has echoed across time with such force, such majesty, and such lasting influence as the Roman Empire, a civilization that transformed a humble settlement along the Tiber River into the beating heart of a superpower that spanned continents, shaped politics, invented engineering marvels, and left behind a blueprint for the modern world. And to understand how this astonishing transformation occurred, we must journey back nearly 3,000 years to an era when myth and reality were woven together, when two abandoned twins, Romulus and Remus, were said to have been raised by a she-wolf, a story that, although steeped in legend, symbolizes the fierce survival instincts, raw ambition, and relentless determination that would define Rome's identity for centuries to come. Because from its earliest days, Rome was never just a city. It was an idea, a promise of power, order, and destiny that grew stronger with every passing generation, shaping not only its own citizens, but every culture that came under its rule. In those primitive early days, Rome was little more than a scatter of wooden huts, muddy streets, and shepherd tribes. Yet within this rough society lay the seeds of greatness, and as the population grew, as hilltop villages merged, and as foreign influences seeped into Roman life, a political evolution began, giving rise to the Roman kingdom, a system ruled by kings whose authority would eventually be challenged and overthrown by a people hungry for control over their own future, leading to the creation of the Roman Republic, one of the most influential political systems in history, a structure built on checks, balances, elected officials, written laws, and civic duty. A system so advanced that echoes of it can still be seen in modern constitutions around the world. Under this republic, Rome expanded slowly at first, fighting local battles, negotiating alliances, and learning the complex game of diplomacy. But soon its citizens developed an unmatched military discipline, transforming their forces into the legendary Roman legions, professional armies trained not only to fight, but to build, conquer, and hold territories with precision. And as these legions marched across Italy, defeating rival tribes and expanding Roman control, something extraordinary happened. A shift from a regional power to an emerging, a shift that would soon bring Rome face to face with one of its greatest challenges: the Punic Wars, a brutal series of conflicts with the powerful North African city of Carthage, home to the brilliant General Hannibal, who crossed the Alps with his war elephants in one of the boldest military maneuvers ever attempted. The world watched in awe as Rome teetered on the edge of destruction, its armies crushed in battle after battle, its lands threatened with invasion, its citizens terrified. Yet in the face of near annihilation, Rome did what it always did best. It adapted, learned, endured, and eventually triumphed, defeating Carthage and establishing itself as the undisputed master of the Western Mediterranean, opening the door to massive territorial expansion, unimaginable wealth, and global dominance. But with great power came great instability, and as Rome's economy grew richer, its politics grew darker, its senators schemed for advantage, its generals fought for glory, and extreme inequality stirred the anger of the masses, creating an environment ripe for one of the most influential figures in human history to rise: Julius Caesar, a man whose name would become synonymous with leadership, ambition, and revolution. Caesar's military genius brought Gaul under Roman control. His charisma won the hearts of the people, and his defiance of the Senate ignited a civil war that ended with him as Rome's first true dictator, a position that terrified the old guard of the Republic, leading to his dramatic assassination on the Ides of March, a moment that shattered the fragile political balance and plunged Rome into further chaos until the emergence of Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus, who defeated his rivals, restored order, and transformed Rome from a fractured republic into a unified empire, ushering in the Pax Romana, a golden age of peace, prosperity, engineering brilliance, and cultural achievement. Under Augustus and the emperors who followed, Rome became the most advanced civilization the world had ever seen, constructing monumental structures like the Colosseum, Pantheon, aqueducts, and vast road networks that stretched over 400,000 kilometers, enabling trade, security, communication, and unity across territories spanning Europe, Africa, and Asia. While Roman law, language, architecture, and lifestyle spread like wildfire through conquered lands, blending with local customs and creating a rich multicultural system unlike anything that came before it. Yet, even at its height, Rome faced internal rot. Corrupt rulers, economic strain, overextended borders, relentless invasions from Germanic tribes, and deep political fractures weakened the once invincible empire. And as decades turned into centuries, Rome slowly began to crumble under the weight of its own ambitions, eventually splitting into the Eastern and Western empires, with the Western Empire falling in 476 CE after centuries of pressure, marking the official end of ancient Rome. Though in truth, Rome never truly died, because its laws became the foundation of modern legal systems. Its language, Latin, evolved into Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Romanian. Its architecture inspired every major city in the Western world. Its ideas of citizenship, senate, elections, and governance shaped modern democracy, and its cultural legacy permeated science, art, literature, religion, and philosophy. And so, the story of the Roman Empire is not merely a tale of victories, emperors, and conquests. It is a story about humanity itself, about ambition and innovation, about how far a civilization can rise and how easily it can fall, about the brilliance and flaws that define us. And as we walk today through the ruins of the Forum, as we stand before the towering arches and broken columns, as we trace our fingers along stones laid by hands long gone, we feel the echoes of an empire that changed the world forever. A reminder that Rome's greatness lives on not only in history books but in every part of our modern lives, shaping the cities we build, the laws we follow, the languages we speak, and the dreams we chase, proving that although the empire fell, the idea of Rome, its ambition, its innovation, its legacy, remains eternal, inspiring generation after generation to look at the world not as it is, but as it could be.